Okie dokie. Hopefully we are streaming. I'm just literally just checking. We've got it upcoming. I tell you what an absolute crazy sprint race that was. What didn't happen in that sprint race? We're going to be talking all about it here in this live stream. Yeah, I mean, I think he's just completely insane. So hopefully, we are actually streaming. There we go. Yeah, there we go. There you go. I'm just checking. Right. So we are streaming. This is the Hot Lap. We are talking about Formula One. I'm doing this because I'm a bit lazy, really. I don't really have enough time to record it, upload it to everything, and then do the qualifying. And I felt this needed a streaming show. So when you have a look at this, look at the rain. Just look at it lashing down before the race, and it's something that probably Ferrari and Charles Leclerc wanted to pay attention to because something happened to them, didn't it? I mean, look at that. Absolutely, it's intense, isn't it? And here we go. This is Charles Leclerc. Oops. I mean, okay. Let's talk about this. I don't think it was necessarily Charles Leclerc's fault in a way, but he is the driver. He can say no to the intermediate tyres. He's the one, I mean, as Martin Brundle says, the throttle works both ways. But at this point, I think the throttle was only going to go one way, and that was into the wall. It was absolutely out of control. Amateur hour for Ferrari. People are saying why Ferrari brought him out on intermediates. But then I think even Lewis Hamilton suggested, well, why would you want to risk it? And on full, why wouldn't you go out on full wets? I mean, you can see how absolutely it's just lashing it and smackily doink. I don't understand why. What were Ferrari thinking? Why Charles Leclerc? It was just so frustrating. But the problem is, we've had this since 2019 with both Ferrari and Charles Leclerc doing whoopsies, which is not particularly great. I just don't understand why Charles Leclerc. He's on the intermediate, and then he's just like smacks it into the wall. I get why he smacks it into the wall, but why did that happen? Why put the intermediates on? Okay, and then we've obviously got the view from here when he just goes gadoink in the wall. Gadoink, and then he just carries on it. I mean, this car's an absolute mess at this point. It's just upsetting. Here's the picture of him gadoinking in the wall. I don't understand why you'd risk it. It's just, if it was like Charles Leclerc's first ever year, I'd completely understand. I would completely understand why he did that. Here we go. And this is this damaged car. Stuttering along. I mean, yeah, there you go. Let's just throw a few bits on the track. Luckily, he ended up stopping, which Carlos Sainz didn't do. Now, a new thing in Formula One this year is the fact that you shouldn't have your car in a dangerous state, let's say, going back to the pits with stuff spewing everywhere, oil, for example, spewing everywhere. As you can see here, debris spewing everywhere. Potentially that is against the rules, and you can get a penalty. That's one of the new rules for this year. It came in, I think, because of Sergio Perez at the Canadian Grand Prix 2024 last year. He was spewing bits everywhere as well. Not particularly great. But yeah, Charles Leclerc. I mean, if you didn't have bad luck, you might say he had no luck at all. So onwards and upwards. Looking at the initial start, it was a good start for Piastri. He passes Antonelli into the first corner. Slightly controversial though, because Antonelli felt like he pushed him off. Even Martin Brundle was saying, okay, he came from a long way back, and it was. Whereas Max Verstappen, people have suggested, including ourselves here, banged to rights at Saudi Arabia. Was he banged to rights here? That one is a bit more of a question. Was he? I don't really know. I mean, he was alongside. That one seemed a lot more. You could make an argument for both sides, unlike obviously the Saudi Arabia, which I mentioned was absolutely a stone bonker. But yeah, now, this in the race, this was Max Verstappen. He got a 10-second penalty. Absolutely not his fault. 1,000,000%, if that was even possible. What were Red Bull doing? I mean, since people have left the Red Bull team, I'm not saying they're a shambles, because they're a well-oiled team. They've made a really solid car, top 3 car. So, you know, at least a top 2 car at times, depending on the track. But here we go. He comes in here, and he's like, look, put my tyres on, put my slicks on, maybe I could do something, and then gadonk. I mean, yeah. And the problem is, poor Kimi Antonelli's there. He's going, oh, I'm gonna go and pit on these nice slick tyres and see what I can do. And then Max Verstappen completely blocks him from coming in, as you can see here. Max Verstappen's going to come out on the left, and Kimi Antonelli's about to go into the pits, but no, he can't, and he just carries on. I mean, to be fair, I mean, Kimi Antonelli almost deserves the man of the race for that. I don't have the onboard there, simply because had he continued to turn into it, it would have been an awful accident. People would have been run over. I'm not saying the bloodbath, but it would have been absolutely horrendous. This is the contact between Lawson and Alonso, as in Lawson of the Liam and Fernando Alonso. I mean, yeah, Liam. I mean, the stewards are still contemplating giving penalties to everyone, including Alexander Albon. I think as well for them. This is a bang tidy penalty. I mean, unless you think Alonso forced him off, but then you can make an argument. If Alonso did force him off, it is a big if, because I don't have the footage for that, obviously. But then you can make an argument that, look, he's coming. At some point, he had all his wheels off the track. I'm pretty confident about that. So he's coming back on the track in a dangerous state. So Liam Lawson smacking into Fernando Alonso is not particularly great. It's just a bit silly. So Liam Lawson doing Liam Lawson things. It was such a shame because he got a really solid start. He was at one point ahead of Isaac Hadjar. He was looking good. And we saw this with Liam Lawson. We saw this at Mexico, if you remember, between Sergio Perez and Liam Lawson. Both of them were to blame at different times, but both of them were giving no cause to Liam Lawson, very angry about it, and it was kind of like a shame. I really like the guy. I want him to do good. I think Red Bull did him dirty by putting him back in there. But Tsunoda so far has done a better job. But then this guy only got 2 races, and yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. I think this was can we refresh it? It's gone now. I did have the Alonso. Oh, there we go. I mean, that's the wreckage of Alonso's car. He's got 2 wheels, and that's it. What is he going to get ready? Is he going to be ready for qualifying? That's the thing. That's going to be the massive exclamation mark. Will Fernando Alonso be ready for qualifying? I don't know. That is, I mean, I imagine any of the mechanics would be crying into their soup. At least it makes it a bit more salty seeing that, because that's just not good at all. To be fair, talking about Aston Martin, Lance Stroll, didn't he get a good start? On the penultimate lap, that was obviously, it did finish under the safety car. We're getting to what's probably the provisional results at the moment. So it did finish under the safety car. There's Alonso's car there. Yeah, they had to do it. The reason, I imagine, I've not seen anything official, but the reason they didn't red flag the race was probably because the race has already been delayed and qualifying is not that far away, and they didn't want qualifying to be postponed as well, etc., etc. Even Martin said no one really expected the rain. But here is your winner by lucky winner for some. I guess he's playing the lottery tonight. Piastri made it very clear on the radio that he won't be playing the lottery tonight. So basically what happened is Lando Norris has stayed out and Oscar Piastri went in for the slick tyres. So you normally think if Oscar can light those tyres up, absolutely well done Oscar Piastri, lighting those tyres up, and he's going to get ahead of Lando Norris. Sadly, we then had this incident with this man in the wall, Fernando Alonso, who then brought out, understandably, the safety car. So Lando Norris was able to pit under the safety car, come out ahead of Oscar Piastri, and voila. Yes, you make your own luck in a way. And to be fair to Lando, he was just before Oscar Piastri came into the pits, he was pretty much all over him. Like a bad rash. Special mention here for the man who should retire for some, the man who's past it, the man who should leave Ferrari, the very man who shouldn't have replaced Carlos Sainz. I like them both. Carlos Sainz did end up in the wall. Lewis Hamilton didn't. Lewis Hamilton, though, was on the softer tyre, which was, I think, the better thing, because the softer tyre heats up more. And whereas normally it doesn't last as long, yes, you're going to get, from a slick tyre, you're going to get more grip, from the softer tyre than obviously the medium and the hard. And it was only half the race still to go. So I don't think you want to save any soft tyres for the Miami Grand Prix. But Lewis pulled a blinder there by putting in the soft tyres. He ended up passing an ailing Max Verstappen who got a 10-second penalty. That's really unfair. The team deserved the 10-second penalty, but Max Verstappen had nothing to do with it for once getting a penalty. And that was really disappointing there for Max. I really felt for him there. Nice pass by Lewis, though, to get P3. Absolutely magic. And obviously a McLaren 1-2. So these are the provisional results. It was first place for Norris, second for Oscar Piastri, third for Lewis Hamilton, fourth Alex Albon, fifth George Russell, sixth Lance Stroll, seventh Liam of the Lawson, eighth Behrman, ninth Tsunoda, 10th Antonelli. Yes, big, massive shame there. 11th Pierre Gasly, Hulkenberg in 12th, Hadjar in 13th, 14th Esteban Ocon, 15th Gabriele Bortoletto, 16th the very angry doer from qualifying, 17th because, I mean, he got completely screwed, didn't he, Verstappen? He had a 10-second penalty, which was bad enough, but because the race was under the safety car, all the cars are going to be so close to each other. So where he was pretty much in fourth behind Hamilton, it was kind of like a fruit machine simulator of doom, so to speak, as Verstappen's name just tumbled down and he was the last guy finishing because obviously Alonso Sainz DNFing, and slightly embarrassing for Leclerc. He did not start. Lewis Hamilton saying that, I remember, Roman Grosjean, I knew you were a credible driver, but you're also an amazing weatherman. I remember some reason Silverstone, you changed the tyres at the right time, and today you did it again. That would have been in 2000. Well, he did that in 2008 when he won. He swapped for the Inters, and Kimi decided not to change his Inters. They were almost down to slicks, and then it started raining again. Also, I think in 2015, it was coming down. Nico Rosberg, who was leading, Hamilton was. Nico Rosberg was really catching him. Lewis came in. I thought I was there in the crowd at Club. I think I was almost around. No, not Club Corner. I was at Brooklands. And everyone was like, what are you doing, Lewis? You're coming in? Don't. It's not wet enough. And then the second he came in, it just absolutely peed itself from the sky. So I'm just going to click on. I'm just going to refresh it. Was it the fraud? Was it the fraud? Don't get him out of the sport, I swear. Oh, that's not very nice, is it? That's obviously, yeah. There we go. Look, okay. Now we've got an interesting shot. So we've got there is obviously Fernando Alonso. There is Liam of the Lawson, and they're coming through. I mean, Alonso, to be fair, he's given him a bit of space. He's kind of won the corner. And at this point, Liam could say, okay, he pushed me off. But then the problem you've got with that is, you know that's going to end up in the collision, don't you? But he goes and does it anyway. Good-oink, and then poor Alonso, he's already lost his... I mean, that is one delicate Aston Martin. Look, it almost seems like the lightest of touches, and his wheel comes off, and it just looks like a horrible mess, doesn't it? Lewis Hamilton this is Lewis Hamilton. He wants the soft tyre. Okay, box for medium. No, mate, soft copy, soft. So it was Lewis Hamilton that wanted the soft tyre, as we suggested. Completely. It absolutely, completely made sense. Let's see anything else. Alex Albon, P4. Yeah, well done for Alex Albon. Fantastic. Really good going there for Alex Albon. Good, solid qualifying. He was all over Lewis Hamilton. Lewis was really struggling on those intermediates, which makes me think, is the Ferrari setup at the moment? They can change it from the sprint race to qualifying. But the problem is you change it, you don't know what you've got, simply because you don't have any practice sessions. And once your car goes out in qualifying, that's it. That is your setup. That's your setup done. Alleged safety car infringement for Alex Albon. Oh gosh, here we go. 3rd of May, 13:33. Regulations exceeding minimum time under the safety car. Yeah, that's going to be a penalty. That's going to be a penalty, isn't it? Lawson after the. Brundle, good strategy call for Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari. It would have been really interesting to see where Lewis would have finished in this race had we not had the safety car, because he was without doubt the fastest man on the track. Yeah, he was looking very comfortable there. That's going to be ominous, isn't it? RBI Daily going awkward. I'm happy that no one got injured for his unsafe race. Yeah, Max, I really feel for you there. P11 and P16 for Alpine, disappointing. That's obviously Lewis at the Miami Grand Prix, but there we go. I mean, that is your Miami sprint. 1, 2, 3. So massive congratulations to all of them to survive that. George Russell 5th, Alex Albon 4th. I mean, yeah, I think because he it was very timely, I'd imagine, when he put those slick tyres on. Ollie Behrman, from that, I just realised that Ollie Behrman 8th. Oh my lord, he started from the back. What a move! I mean, Ollie Behrman was doing the moves anyway. So I was going to say either Lewis or Ollie Behrman for man of the race. Absolutely, definitely. Oscar Piastri kind of got screwed by the safety car. Lando Norris, well, the L in Lando definitely stood for luck in the sprint race, and Hamilton grafted, I think, his way to 7th. So anyway, there we go. If you made it to the end with my rambling, please, oh please, give us a subscribe. That would be absolutely amazing. If you're already subscribed, hit the like button. I don't really do many live streams. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I should do more. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much, and no doubt we will have another chat, I imagine, after qualifying. Whether it's going to be a live stream or a video, I do not know. But thank you so much for watching. Even if you're watching this live, really appreciate it, or you're watching this at a later date. Thank you very much. I'm now going to have my dinner in between qualifying, between the sprint race and qualifying. And what on earth is going to happen? I imagine, I mean, I can't see just before I go. Don't think... Oh, there's been another 30 Sprint Hamilton. Yeah, Sprint Hamilton. That's about it. I think that's pretty much about it. Okay. Speak to you soon. Thank you very much. Thank you.